So now I've gotten just about everything I can with the magic wand tool, so I'm going to click OK, and you'll see there is still some artifacts hanging around this. You can get rid of those by using the cut tool. So I'm going to go up here to erase. I'll get a little bit larger round brush, and again I'm going to zoom in by pressing F10, and I'm going to cut this away. And again, you can see that this takes some skill and some time. So I'm going to pause it and go ahead and finish cutting this off. So now I've finished trimming this off and it looks okay to me. Not the best, but it'll do. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see it, and we'll bring this into an image here in a second to see how it looks. So, but I want to save it first, and you want to save it as an LOB. So we'll go to Export Object. We'll make sure this is set to LOB. We're going to give it a name. And even though it is a Kichler product, I'm going to put it in the Effects Luminaire folder and click Save. Now I'm going to show you another way to edit them. Now I'd like to take a minute to explain something to you to help you understand what you're trying to do here, because I get that it may be confusing if you're a beginner using a computer. So first of all, there's got to be some place that you're capturing the pictures from. Usually it's the internet. Usually pictures on the internet are JPEG files. It's good that it's a JPEG file for the internet because they're small files, they load quickly, and the websites come up fast. But the quality of the images is not so good. I'm going to capture this piece of this website here to show you something here. So I'm going to capture it, and then I'm going to save this as a JPEG and as a BMP. So now I have those two images saved. One is a capture called BMP, and it's 771 KB, which is about 3/4 of a megabyte. But the JPEG file is only 37 KB, so this is probably 20 times larger as a BMP file than a JPEG. So you see why JPEGs are used, because they're much smaller, they come up faster on the internet. But like I showed you earlier, because it's a lossy compression, when I pull up this JPEG file, you'll see there's some kind of holes in there. That's because it's doing a dithering in the white that's around all this stuff, so it's not coming out crystal clear like the BMP will. So if I open up the BMP file, let's move this out of the way so you can see that the BMP file, all that white was dropped out for you, because the program looks at the first pixel in the upper right hand corner of every image that's brought in as an object, and it drops out that color. Because white was up here, it drops out white. So you could see it was pretty quick if we wanted to get this particular fixture out. So that's what's going on. Then when you're using the magic wand, it drops out even more color. So if I go back in here to the magic wand, and you can see that that's red, that those pixels there are the same color of white in the JPEG that the upper left hand corner pixel is, and that's why there were holes in it, because they are the same color. Now if I'm clicking in the white area, it's dropping out all the rest of those white pixels, because I got my tolerance set to 5, so it's going 5 pixels either way in color range. So now when I click OK, you'll see that that's all dropped out, all that white. So it's faster sometimes to drop out the colors with the magic wand. Sometimes it's faster to draw around it when you can't drop out the colors, because it is a JPEG file. So the JPEGs are a blessing and a curse. Now there is one more way to do it, and it's pretty much foolproof. If we'll go back and bring that image up again, and I want to size it down a little bit so that it fits on my black background here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw over this and trace it out. So I want to combine it with the background, because you can't draw on something that's an object floating on the screen. So I go up here to Object, I go to Combine Background, then I'll go here to the Drawing Tools, and I'm going to zoom in by pressing F10. And what I'm going to do is simply draw around it. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all this, so I'm going to keep on drawing and pause the video. Okay, I'm just about done here. So I want to show you how we finish it up. So I've connected the dots. Let's scroll around here so you can see a little bit of the detail work. So all I did was trace around this lighting fixture, and it took me about 3.5 minutes. We'll zoom out, and now I want to convert this to an object, so I'm going to click OK, click on it and drag it. Want to convert it to an object? Yes. And as you can see, there's my edited light fixture. Looks better than with the magic wand. Now the magic wand works a lot of the time, and it probably gets you closer so there's less editing, but there are two ways to do it when you got a JPEG file. You can use the magic wand, or you can hand trace it out. So again, you want to save this by going to File, Export. So now let's take a quick look at the images we just created and how they look in an image. So I'm going to go to Import here. This is the one that we got from FX Luminaire. That was a ping file, and as you can see, it's pretty clean and it looks pretty good. Let's go back in here and bring up the first JPEG file I did with the magic wand tool. Again, it looks pretty decent. When you size it down, it actually looks even better. And let's bring up the other one. And this is the one that we did with the drawing tools, and as you can see, it doesn't look any different really than the one done with the magic wand tool. Now that you've edited these lighting fixtures, you would either want to put them in a new library or add them to an existing library. To put them in a new library, you go up here to Library, you click on New Library. They're going to be objects, so you leave that object set, and then you would give it a name in here. And then click OK. Click OK again. Then to add them into that library, you go back up to Library, and then find the library that you just created called Name. And then we want to add them as an item. So we go Items, Add Items, and we'd find, navigate to the folder where they are. You find the files you want, select them all, or do a Control A on the keyboard, it will select them all, and click Open. And now it's made a new library. Of course, we have two of the same file in there because we did two of them, but that's how you would do it. Then you would save that library, go here to Save Library, and it would be saved and always be in your program. If you want to add the fixtures to an existing library, again you go up to Library, find the library that you want to add them to. Let's go to Path Lighting here, and then we go Add Items, navigate to where they are, select them all, click Open, and you will see that they are added to this library here at the end. Then you would need to save this library again. Now when you're in the lighting effects program and you go here to the lighting products icon and click on it, you'll notice that there are really two manufacturers here, Outdoor Lighting Perspective and Vista. And when you click on one of these thumbnail images, it gives you a spec sheet of that particular product. And of course when you click Add, you can add that name to the image. Now there are only two manufacturers here. Maybe your manufacturer is not Outdoor Lighting Perspective or Vista, so you're going to have to manually put in the products yourself if you want them in here and if you want them to be calculated in the estimate. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, we'll show you how to capture the information. And of course, one of the best places to find the information in spec sheets would be from the manufacturer's website. So right now we're on FX Luminaire's website. This is the product that we want to get the specs for. I'm going to click here on Specifications. We got the spec chart there. We've got a line drawing here, and we've got the photometrics. So we want to capture those. Now this information right here is not a picture, so you need to capture that somehow. There's a couple ways to do that. I use a screen capture program, so I'm just going to capture this as a graphic and I'm going to name it. So I'm going to make a folder called FX Luminaire, and I'm going to save this file. We'll leave it as a BMP, that's fine, and I'll call it PF Spec 1. So that's saved. And now we'll go to the next image. This one is an image, so you can just right click over it and go Save Image As. Navigate to the folder where you saved the last one, and we'll save that. And let's get the next one here, and we'll save that one. So now we have those three graphics saved, and actually let's go up here and save this graphic also. So now we need to build the template of the spec sheet. So we need some image manipulation. So we're going to go back into the imaging program. We want to get a background, so we'll go up here to File, New. I want to make this 800 by 600. Click OK. So now we got this white background. Now we want to import the things we just saved as objects. But remember earlier when I showed you and told you that it drops out the upper left hand pixel, and that color that's up there is going to be dropped out of the pictures. So let's show you what I'm talking about here. Let's bring this in. You see where the upper pixel was black and it brought this picture in where it has a lot of holes in it. They're the same color as that upper left hand corner pixel up here. So what you could do to make sure that doesn't happen is go up here to View, go to Options, click on Create Mask for imported objects. When it's got a check mark there, it's creating the mask. If you turn this off, it will not drop out those colors. So if we go up here now and import the picture, you'll see it's not dropping out those colors. So I want to size this down, put this up here. Now we'll go back and import this fixture, specs. So now I have everything imported. It's a matter of arranging them on this piece of paper or the background image. So let's size the specs down a little bit here. Put this off in the corner. We need to get this at least as big enough so that we could read it. And that's pretty much it. Now you may want to put a logo on here, but really you're the only one that's going to see this. So now you need to save this file and name it. So we're going to go here to File, Save As. I'm going to save it as a JPEG file, and we're going to name it this is actually an LED light, so it's FX LED Path Light. Now what you also want to do when you're naming files is make sure that things are named exactly the same. So this is FX underscore LED underscore path underscore light. So you put those underscores in there so that you can name things exactly the same and you don't have two spaces when you think you only have one. So let's click Save, and now we've saved this graphic. I'm going to close it, open it back up for you, and you can see what we've created.